Ram. You're not allowed to dance with the gopis. Only Krishna can dance with the gopis. So his guru, so-called guru, so supposed to be better than Prabhupada, is actually a demon. He's actually a demon. And by following him, this guy's quit Krishna consciousness, and now he thinks that one day he'll dance with the gopis. Yeah. If his guru said, I'll teach you how you can please Krishna by dancing for him, that would be different. But he's saying, it's just like Ravana. What did Ravana want to do? He wanted to take Sita away from Ram. That's what it means, dancing with the gopis. He's going to take the gopis away from Krishna. So who does that? That's a demon. So, therefore, we should understand what merging actually means. When you merge yourself into, it's by thinking of the Lord, and with your mind remembering his different activities or pastimes, and chanting the glories of the Lord, and then being able to see the Lord personally present before you. And thus, all activities become concentrated upon the Lord without deviation. That is becoming one with the Lord. Not this phony philosophy that, you know, God is a force, an energy, and you merge into that energy, and you become eternal, you become God. It's all nonsense. Okay. So then the next verse says, Sampadhyaya manam agyaya bismam brahmani niskale sarve babuvus te tusnim vyayam shiva dinatyaye. Knowing that Bhismadeva had merged into the unlimited eternity of the Supreme Lord, Absolute, all present there became silent like birds at the end of the day. Very interesting. In the beginning of the day, you hear the birds chirping, like that. But at the end of the day, you'll notice that they're not making any noise anymore. Okay? So knowing that Bhismadeva had merged into the unlimited eternity of the Supreme Absolute, all present there became silent like birds at the end of the day. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. To enter into, or to become merged into the unlimited eternity of the Absolute Truth means to enter the original home of the living being. The living beings are all component parts and parcels of the Absolute Personality of Godhead, and therefore they are eternally related with him as the servitor and served. The Lord is served by all his parts and parcels, as the complete machine is served by its parts and parcels. Any part of the machine removed from the whole is no longer important. Similarly, any part and parcel of the Absolute detached from the service of the Lord is useless. So if we, just like this person I told you about, if we detach ourselves from coming to the temple and doing service, we become useless. Just like if you take your battery out of your cell phone and you throw it in the trash, the battery becomes useless, right? So if you take yourself outside of Krishna consciousness, you become useless. Your whole life will be wasted. So I forgot, you know, these screens don't work. So what would we do? Can you put it on this screen here? Through this.
Yeah, you have the password. Shows up on that screen, right? So which one do you want to show?
Let's do the one about Tamil Nadu.
Okay.
Yeah, we have the screen here, so that's good. Yeah. Okay. Any part and parcel of the Absolute detached from the service of the Lord is useless. The living beings who are in the material world are all disintegrated parts and parcels of the Supreme Whole. Disintegrated doesn't mean they don't exist. It means they're not integrated, not connected to the Lord. They've separated from the Lord. Disintegrated has different meanings, but in this context, it means that they're not connected to the Lord. And they are no longer as important as the original parts and parcels. Yeah, if you take your battery out of the cell phone and throw it away, it doesn't have any value anymore. There are, however, more integrated living beings who are eternally liberated. The material energy of the Lord, called Durga Shakti, or the superintendent of the prison house, takes charge of the disintegrated parts and parcels, and thus they undergo a conditioned life under the laws of material nature. So we have to decide who we want to take shelter of. Do we want to take shelter of Krishna? Or do you want to come under the control of Durga Mata? So if you come under the control of Durga Mata, what does she do? Well, have you ever seen that poster where Durga Mata has her Trisul and she's sticking it into the chest of Lord Shiva? Right? That's what happens to us when we come under the control of Durga Mata. We have this heavy weight on our chest all the time. Right? That's Durga Mata's Trisul. She's holding us down under the control of the modes of material nature. And we're always in trouble. Do you know anyone that's always in trouble? You know anybody that's always... Who? Tell me who. They're always complaining?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. You know anybody that's always in trouble? Huh?
Yeah.
Who?
My friend. She's like always, she keeps saying that she's like depressed.
Hey, what happened to the microphone? Speak into the microphone.
She keeps telling me that she's always like depressed, she's sad, she doesn't feel good, or like she feels useless and she doesn't want to do this anymore.
Really? She's an Indian girl?
No, she's not Indian.
Wow. You know anybody that's always in trouble? Yeah, well, speak into the microphone, let's hear.
The most crazy person.
So, wait a minute, is that microphone on?
The most crazy person I know who's always in trouble. Like, I go to this taekwondo class.
Taekwondo.
Yeah. And at the start we do like exercises and like forms and stuff. And if you're late, you have to do push-ups. And then that kid, he always comes late. And then he's like sulking and like crawling into class, literally like that. And then when the teachers tell him to do push-ups, he like sleeps on the floor and he's like, meow. And then when we start doing stuff, he's like, oh my God, I have a bloody nose. And then he sits in the bathroom for the rest of class.
He sits where?
Huh?
Where does he sit?
In the bathroom for the rest of class.
Oh, the bathroom.
And then he comes out when class is over.
Wow. He's really under the control of Durga. Yeah, you see, this is, I mean, I know devotees that are always in, something's wrong all the time. So they never say everything's all right. They always come up with, oh, this thing happened, oh, that thing happened, oh, I don't feel good, you know, always something wrong. So, those type of persons are called hypochondriacs. You know what a hypochondriac is? Okay, let's look it up. Hypochondriac. 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 Hypochondriac is a person who wants to be sick all the time. Because that way they can sleep more, they can take medicines, everyone feels sorry for them. Huh?
When I have to go to school on Mondays, that's me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Can you spell that again?
Hypo, I think, Chrondiac. Diac. I'm not sure though. Can we look that word up? I don't have my phone. Hypochondriac. Oh, wait a minute. I have my dictionary here. Good. Yeah, maybe. That's, yeah. Let's see. Hypo. Hypochondria. Hypochendric. So Hypocchen, not A-N. Endriac. Hypochondriac. Got it? Hypochendriac. Hypochondriac. So here it gives a short definition. It says morbid fancies of ill health. That means morbid means like, you know, very dark, death-like. Fancies meaning imagining that one is sick, so that, you know, people feel sorry for them and they can sleep in and they can do, morbid fancies of ill health. Fancies mean that they're imagining, and morbid means like death-like, you know, or deadly or sickly. You got a big word here. It's, you know, next time you see your friend and say, "You're a hypochondriac," he'll say, "What? What did you just call me?" You know, is that a curse word or what? No, it's not a curse word. Okay, so are we ready?
Yes, it's there on your screen.
Okay. Let's everyone come closer. This is our new project. Called
Is it the Prabhupada thing?
what? Not preaching. It's called Nam Gar. So what is a Nam Gar? It means it's a building in which people chant Hare Krishna. Gar means building, right? It's a house.
Yes.
Gadi.
And Nam means name, sounds like a name, a house.
So, in a place called Kanyakumari, which is the last city in the south of India, the farthest south city, and it's in Tamil Nadu, right? So, what are all these things? What are all these little blue things?
Those are the names of the churches.
Oh, these are all the churches in that little town. The Christians have taken over that town. The devotees tried to do Sankirtan there. The Christians stopped them and said, "You're not allowed to do Sankirtan in our town." Every Hindu, except for 3 families, has been converted to Christianity in that town. There is a church in every block. How many churches? There's 140 churches?
Yes, Prabhu. And the next slide shows there are only 22 temples left.
In Tamil Nadu?
No, in Kanyakumari.
Oh, Kanyakumari. There's still 22 temples. But who goes there?
Very few.
Okay, so what are we going to do about this? That's the question. So, we're going to adopt. Okay, so what we're going to do is what Sankardev did in Assam. Sankardev was a follower of Lord Chaitanya, and he opened up Namgars all over Assam. Assam is in the north of India, northeast of India. It's right
This
near.
is how the Christians are using Vedic traditions to preach. They put garlands around Saint Francis.
Oh yeah. So see what the Christians have done. They have Christianized Hinduism.
No, the other way around.
Hinduized Christianity. Oh, okay.
It's Christianity they're preaching. That's what they're doing. So because they're doing it with Indians, they've given it a little.
Yeah, well, they're incorporating things that people normally do in a Hindu temple in their church. They did the same thing Fiji. Anyway, so using Rasa cart like concepts to preach. So is this a Christian Rasa cart?
Yes, yes, bro. One is Mother Mary, one is Saint Francis.
Okay.
And they use Nadaswaram, which is the traditional music in temples.
With the Chennai.
Yeah.
So how come they are Christian then?
What?
They're not really doing Christianity.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
But they're doing a special brand of Christianity. It's called demonizing Hinduism. They preach to people that the Hindus are demons. Yeah, good.
What they're doing is they know these people are the culture, the background, the history. They're borrowing those things and pushing Christianity on them.
Borrowing.
And pushing Christianity on them. Because this happens because people don't know.
Yeah, because
Like
the
Nadaswaram
Brahmin,
is played during marriages in India and in temples where the deities are welcome. So they're putting Nadaswaram there.
yeah.
And in Jharkhand, which is former Bihar, they said that a bunch of school bus kids were going. The driver stops the bus and asks everybody kid to push the bus. They said the bus is not moving, and say, "Hey Ram," so the bus doesn't move. And then they say Jesus, and then the driver starts the engine and takes it forward. He says, "See, look, when you say Jesus, bus moves, Ram doesn't move."
Wow.
Yeah.
All this is possible when people
Are ignorant.
when they don't hear from the Vedic scripture.
Same thing could happen here. Look how many people
It's
come
already
to class.
happening here.
Look how many people come to class. You know how many people we have that are initiated here? Like at least 100. They don't come.
When you don't hear, this is what Srimad Bhagavatam says, if you don't develop a taste for hearing regularly, then when somebody comes with a bogus, inferior, so-called philosophy, you get taken away. So they're being taken away in their own country. It's not like they came to America and they get turned into a Christian. The Christians are so slick. They go in your country and turn you into Christian.
Right. Next. But we can change them. For a cost of a trip to India, you can now establish a Namgar in South India. In other words, when we go to India, how much did you spend, Radhika Gopinath?
About $10,000 for a family of 4.
Okay.
Flight tickets and other expenses.
So $15,000 you can build a Namgar in India. It's like, 1.5 trips to India. You can. So if you sacrifice going to India for 1.5 times, you can build a Namgar in the village. So we have a devotee who was here before, but he moved back to Tamil Nadu. He's in Tiruchendur. His name is Veda Narayan. He's a very good preacher. He is cultivating people in 30 different villages in India right now. It's in Tamil Nadu. So if we support him, my plan is that in 2019 we'll build one Namgar in one of his villages. Then the next year, 2020, we'll build 2 Namgars. Then 2021 we'll build 4, and in 2022 we'll start building 6 a year, and maintain that every year after that. So if you build 4, that's $60,000. If you build 6, that's $90,000. We can do that. We can do that. Because there are many wealthy Tamilians here in Seattle and around the United States who, if they see we're doing something like this, they will support it. Because people are getting scared and upset by what the Christians are doing in Tamil Nadu. And they're not only doing it in Tamil Nadu, they're doing it in Kerala in a big way. And they're doing it also in other parts.
In Andhra Pradesh, they have like big programs, just like Prabhupada programs.
Yeah.
They take like a big place,
Yeah.
or 100,000 people are invited there, free prasadam,
Yeah.
Jesus prasadam, and then they will talk about Jesus.
Yeah.
Make a prayer, they'll show some miracles. Somebody says, I cannot walk, and suddenly they'll say, talk to Jesus, Hail Mary, and then the person starts walking and he says, this is the miracle.
How to get the money? Because it's
The money is coming from
Money is coming
California.
from America.
There's one church in California that's giving $40 million every year. One church.
So are you leaving now?
No, I'm going to.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. So what we have to do, this is what Vedanarayan is doing. He's teaching people forgotten moral and spiritual values. Like for example, last week in the class, when Senthil Prabhu, or I forget his name now, was here, and I was explaining how when the Muslims came to India, or invaded India, they forcibly made Hindus into Christians, but also because of the fanaticism of the Indian Brahmanas, more people converted because of that fanaticism. So Senthil Prabhu gave an example. He said, and this is a recent example, there was an entire village in Andhra Pradesh that was going to convert to Christianity. So people asked this one, I'm not sure it was Andhra Pradesh or Tamil Nadu. Kanchipuram is in Tamil Nadu, so it's Tamil Nadu. So they asked the Sankaracharya of Kanchipuram. There are 4 major temples of Shiva in India. One is in Kanchipuram, one is in Orissa, Bhubaneswar. It's named after Lord Shiva, Bhubaneswar, right? And there's one in Badrinath, I think, there's one other. So they asked the Sankaracharya of Kanchipuram to come and convince the villagers not to convert. So his name is Jitendra Swami or something. So he went there, he's a sannyasi, and he preached to them. And after he finished preaching, he said, "Do you have any questions? Are you convinced now not to become Christian?" So the leader of the village said that we're willing to not convert, but on one condition. He said, "What is that?" And the village leader said, "You make us all Brahmins, we will remain Hindus." Jitendra Swami did not even answer. He just got up and walked out. Didn't say a word. And they all converted. That's the fanaticism. That is exactly the fanaticism of the Brahmins. And this is one reason, major reason, why so many Hindus have converted to other religions, like Islam, Christianity, or Buddhism. So, constant chanting of holy mantras. If you donate, you get your. What the Christians do, they put the picture of the couple in America, like someone from Kansas, a family from Kansas that donated $15,000. They put their picture in the church. And you can build a little church for $15,000. You can build a temple for $15,000 in Tamil Nadu, in a village. You don't have to make a huge thing. And Namgar, according to what Shankar Dev did, to convert all of Assam into Vaishnavism. It's just a building where people come and they chant Hare Krishna and they have nice prasadam and they hear classes and they have plays and there's a lot of singing and dancing going on, all based on Krishna Kirtan. And they can also have a deity. There's no objection to having a deity, but usually an Namgar is a place where people assemble to chant Hare Krishna on a regular basis. So Namgars are the smallest and most basic units of the Vaishnava faith. It was introduced by Srimanta Shankaradeva in the line of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Any kirtan gar set up near the Tan, Shankaradeva's settlement, came to be referred to as Namgar. This was in Assam.
Yes, these are all from Assam.
Yeah. There are presently more than 30,000 Namgars in Assam. The Namgar serves a variety of purposes. It is a village church, a village parliament, a library. Well, why did you put that in there? We don't want to make a village church. Right?
Yes.
No, it serves purpose as a place where people come congregate to chant Hare Krishna. Okay, so you're getting the idea of what we're going to do now. We're going to, besides building self-sufficient villages for homeless people here, we're going to start building Namgars in Tamil Nadu first. And we're going to start real basic. And it'll be the project of the temple.
There are really a lot of Tamilians. They are really rich.
Yeah.
And they are not really coming to ISKCON, but they are spiritually.
Yeah. And they're upset. I spoke to this one Tamilian that gave me $14,500 2 days ago for our cows. When I told him about it, his eyes opened. You're going to do that? So I'm going to tell all my friends. And all his friends are wealthy. Now, we don't care about, getting their money, but they care about what's happening to Tamil Nadu. And no one is really doing it. There's a few things going on, but nothing like what the Christians are doing. So if we make this a project, and we have Vedanarayan there who's actually doing the work, he's actually cultivating villages. Now he needs his support on the back. Okay, so.
Okay, I'm going back.
Okay.
I made the change.
Yeah, both of these projectors are broken. That's what.
Now, actually, right next to you, instead of that small TV, if you put a big TV,
Yeah.
that is good enough, actually.
Well, we have the big
Yeah,
TV.
we have the big TV. We just have to move it.
You have to move
I
it.
talked to one of my students. He said he will do it, and
Okay.
anyway, we'll do it.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so this is one example of a Namgar.
so one of the characteristics of Namgar is the side doors are always open. There's no windows.
There's no walls.
So when they chant, everybody outside can also hear.
They have one in the yoga pit also, like
This is one other example. The sides are always open.
Yeah, no walls.
Yeah, we would have to. Oh yeah, in Tamil Nadu, you don't need those.
Tamil Nadu is very hot,
Yeah.
super hot. And then here is an internal picture of an Namgar. They sit in a U shape. The middle place is open.
Yeah, they have like some kind of a deity there, or some guru. Yeah, you can have it with thatched roof also.
And then main activity there is chanting and dramas.
Oh yeah.
Prasadam?
Prasadam is optional because prasadam basically complicates everything.
No, we will have prasad. We will definitely have. We can't have a program without prasad. Prabhupada, I can show you a letter Prabhupada wrote where he said, in South India, he said, you can even install Vishnu deities because the people are used to worshipping Vishnu, as long as they chant Hare Krishna and have prasadam. He said, there's so many Vishnu deities, there's Padmanabham, there's Varadaraj, there's, huh?
The sleeping, Tamil Nadu is very Ananta Padmanabha,
Yeah.
the sleeping deity of Vishnu.
Yeah, he said, people are used to worshipping that deity, so that's okay. You can, as long as we have kirtan and prasadam. So Shankardev would have plays, because village people like entertainment, right? Instead of watching television, they can watch the play. And it's all about wearing colorful costumes and masks, soulful music and fireworks, adding to the sense of thrilling, dramatic extravagances. All this happened in the Namgar. All the members of the community, the Kiot, the Kai Bartas, fishermen, and various tribesmen, and even the Turukas, Muslims, were treated alike and accepted in the Namgar community. Just see. We can even accept the Christians. In Assam, satras have emerged and developed on the basis of the social, cultural, natural, and geographical peculiarities of this region. They are monasteries, dwellings of the monks. Monasteries, it should be. Anyway. who stayed in it and spread the Dharma amongst the surrounding villages by guiding them to set up namgars. Satras have their own namgar where villagers congregate on special occasions. Okay, next. This is all about namgar in
This is how
Assam.
about the historic development of Namgar.
Yes. The importance of satras to the development and proliferation of namgars cannot be overstressed. So the satra is the monks' place?
Satra is the monks, the brahmachari ashram,
Yeah.
and then there are Namgars. The Satras are where the brahmacharis are trained, and then Namgars are where the Dharma is trained.
Yes, so if we do this, we would have to train preachers,
Right.
a million preachers, to be able to manage it. They are the very origin and cause of the Namgar culture, spreading to the nooks and corners of Assam and surrounding areas. Local sentiments are thus very deeply intertwined with the Satra institution in the state. The Satra came to be the nerve center of the religious, social, and cultural life of the Assamese people. The typical Satra has a Namgar in the center with rows of residences for the monks on all four sides around a square called Hati. The residences of the important personages like the Satradikar, so that's the leader of the community, were also located around the Namgar. The Satra had ponds surrounding it for water storage. Each water body had its function. The chol
Chawal dua, like rice washing.
was rice washing, and the gawo dua, bathing. The approach
so you
is
mix the water, right? But cooking water would be one pond,
yeah.
bathing water would be one pond, so that there is no contamination.
So they did. They basically did water, a rainwater harvesting.
Harvesting, exactly.
Yeah, and they have different ponds, and each pond has a different function, so it doesn't get. They don't have one pond where everything gets contaminated. Smart. Ideally, a namgar is a covered hall with only half walls on three sides, and the guru asan on the fourth side. Okay. Since the time of Shrimanta Sankaradeva, the namgars have been so constructed that people of all races and tribes living in this part of the country could easily enter and take part in the congregational prayers and other activities. It's not like the temple that said, "Oh, non-Hindus not allowed." Dalits not allowed. You go to Jagannath Puri, they won't allow low-class Hindus into the temple. They won't allow Western people in the temple. But the Namgar, everyone's invited. Because Sankaradeva was a follower of Lord Chaitanya. Thus, the village Namgar is significantly built without walls. This is quite a departure from other Hindu closed temples. So it's important that there not be walls. So everyone is welcome. The village Namgar hall is used for daily prayer meetings, distributing of the prasad, and the daily nam and social gatherings. On special occasions, the Namgar hall is used to stage the one-act plays called Ankiya Nath. The players perform in the midst with the audience seated around on three sides. So they're right in the middle. People on three sides. Nice. They don't even need a stage.
Actually, I went to one drama hall in Bellevue.
Yeah.
That's what they do. The drama is in the middle, and people sit all around the people who are performing the drama. So it's got a stage, and everybody's sitting like auditorium style.
Yeah.
So the drama is happening in the middle.
And the stage is on the bottom, and people are
Yeah,
high.
people are in the elevator, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a traditional Greek
Greek style.
theater. The village Namgar, literally name house or prayer house, is mainly a large hall built upon two rows of very stout and high pillars. It most often has an east-west axis. Okay, next. Manikut, on the eastern end of the hall of the Namgar, and perpendicular to the main axis. Another hut is constructed whose length roughly equals the breadth or the width of the hall.
So it's basically a square. It's more like a pyramid.
This is a structure which is enclosed by walls and a roof sometimes emphasized with shikaras. This is generally called Manikut, house of gems. This structure is the shrine room and holds the object of worship. So it's a deity room. The shrine is not an icon, but a wooden pyramid called Singgasana, holding holy books. That's, in other words, it's the Srimad Bhagavatam setup. The function of the Manikut varies from Namgar to Namgar. In Madhupur, Koch Bihar, it is known as Bajgar and houses a deity of Krishna. Sometimes it is Baralgar, or stone house, depending on its use. In some Namgars, the Singhasan or shrine is placed in the Manikut. In some Namgars, the room is used for the visiting guru for stay. Okay. The origin of Manikut is not very clearly recorded, but a Manikut is a Vaishnava temple. In a Vaishnava temple is common feature in other parts of India too. In Sri Nataji temple at Nathdwar, Gujarat, the Manikut is the chamber between the Nija Mandira, main shrine, and Dol Tiwar, room where Dol Yatra is celebrated. In Jagannath temple at Puri, the Manikut houses the main shrine of Sri Jagannatha, Subhadra and Balabhadra. In the Assamese Namgars, Manikuts do not have a fixed function. Some are used as the shrine room, but some Namgars use it as a store or a kitchen. Well, okay, so basically, it's a deity room. Okay. This is a more fancy Namgar entrance.
It's very, very artistic.
Yeah. And this is another type of Namgar?
Yeah, another type of Namgar. Some Westerner went into the picture. And if you look at the Deepam, it is there like about 8-9 feet tall.
The what?
The Deepam is on the side.
Oh, the ghee lamp. Oh, these guys.
Yes, these both on both sides.
Okay, go ahead.
So the next one is more about how Brahmins are only a small percentage, and most of them move to the states. So this is our audience basically.
The vast majority of Tamils in the U.S. are Brahmins, the community at the top of the Hindu hierarchy of caste, as defined in terms of relative purity and pollution. In Tamil Nadu, on the other hand, Brahmins are only 2 or 3% of the population. The composition of the Tamil population in the United States, then, is the extreme reverse of what it is in India, in terms of Brahmins and non-Brahmins. The general terms which Tamils most often use when referring to distinctions of caste or community. Thus, in the United States, the Tamil population is considerably more homogeneous in terms of caste than it is in Tamil Nadu. It's saying that most of the people in Tamilians in the United States are from Brahminical families. Lord William Bentinck in 1819-20 opened up education in English schools to the natives, as we were then called. As they shouldn't say as we were then called. You should say as the Indians were then called. Brahmins are the most intellectual of all communities, so we took the greatest advantage of the English education that was offered. You're talking about Brahmins.
Right.
So you have to change that word. Someone doesn't know what you mean by we. So we took the greatest advantage of the English education that was offered. Having been priests by occupation, we were accustomed to study. We were knowing Sanskrit. We took to the English education very easily. Then, when government service positions were open to Indians, naturally we were the best suited.
That's all I have so far. It needs more work now.
Okay. You don't have to have so much history. The main idea is to explain what we want to do.
No, the history is more for us.
Okay, but anyway, I mean, we don't have to go.
It's more for us to understand, and once we have a small presentation for the audience.
Okay, but the main thing is we have to explain what we want to do. Namgar, people can understand what it is. It's a hall where everyone's invited, where you have kirtan, plays, classes.
So we have to develop this particular aspect
No, so
of
you
what
have
we
to-
want to do,
Yes.
and that's the next one.
Okay. You ready to open up Namgars? Okay.
So, but the history is very important because it talks about how Shankar Dev developed it.
Yeah.
And now you are the next Shankar Dev. Yeah.
No, I'm not me. Beta Narayan is. Okay, so now we'll come back to Canto 1, Chapter 9, verse number 44. Oh, no, wait a minute. Verse number, 44. The material energy of the Lord, called Durga Shakti, or the superintendent of the prison house, takes charge of the disintegrated parts and parcels, and thus they undergo a conditioned life under the laws of material nature. So, these people that you have in your class or in your taekwondo, who always are in trouble, who always say, oh, this is not right, that's not right, I'm not feeling good, this thing, that thing, they are under the control of Durga. And she's putting the Trisul right in their chest. If you had a three-pronged, gigantic fork pressing against your chest, would you feel comfortable every day? No. That's what Durga does. She puts us in trouble all the time. That's her name, Durga. That makes life hard, difficult. When the living being becomes conscious of this fact, he tries to go back home. So when you realize, hey, look, I'm suffering day after day. Why? Because I've forgotten Krishna and I've come under the control of Durga. And she's causing me a lot of trouble. So when you become conscious of this fact, then you try to go back home, back to Godhead. And thus the spiritual urge of the living being begins. So when you actually feel suffering too much and you get sick and tired of it, when you say, I'm sick of being sick. I'm sick of being sick, right? I'm sick of being always in trouble and difficulty. Then you try and find a solution. The only solution is becoming Krishna conscious and coming under the protection of Krishna. Right now, almost everybody's under the oppression of Durga. What does that mean, oppression? Oppressed, pressed. You know, you ever see a pressing machine in a cleaning, you know, the cleaners? You take your clothes to the cleaners, right? So after they wash your clothes, then they press them. You ever see the press? Huh? Well, yeah, but it's called a, yeah, okay, so it's ironing, but it's a press. You know, iron is just like a hand tool. And a press, you know, it's like a big machine, you know. And you put your cloth there and go like this, and there's steam. And you go up and it's nice right away. Where you iron, you're going back and forth like this. It's harder. So, what does oppressed mean? The word press is in oppressed. You know what oppressed means? Pressing something down hard. Yes. No. What? Getting stomped, yeah. So when you are oppressed, that means that you're always in trouble, that there's this weight and there's this pressure on you all the time. You're not comfortable. That means people are bullying you or people are doing things to you that make you uncomfortable all the time. You're always in trouble. So, when you really begin to say, I'm sick of being sick, I'm sick of being always in trouble, and why is this happening to me? So then you start searching around, and if you're lucky, you'll find some devotee saying, well, it's because you're eating meat, you're gambling, you engage in illicit activities. You should chant Hare Krishna, all your problems will go away. It's like this one guy came here the other day. Oh, I'm always in trouble. I said, well, if you just chant Hare Krishna, all your troubles will go away. No, I don't want to do that. See, although he did buy some beads, but he's not really chanting. See? So, when the living being becomes conscious of this fact that they're suffering because they're under the control of Durga, he or she tries to go back home, back to Godhead. And thus the spiritual urge of the living being begins. What is the spiritual urge?
The urge to go back to Krishna and please him. So
Yes. Now we discussed this morning, oh, you weren't here, about urging and merging. Oh no, we discussed it now, urging and merging. What's the difference between the urge in urging and merging and the spiritual urge? Yes.
urging and merging means if you give up all desires, like every single desire, then you'll merge. And then urging to go back to the spiritual world.
You have to turn it on.
You're urging for spiritual desires to please Krishna so you can go back to Godhead.
Yes, see, that's a very good explanation. The Mayavadis say all urges are bad. You have to give them all up, and then you can merge into Brahman. But the Vaishnavas say, wait a minute, the spiritual urge is good. It's not bad. It's the desire to find out how you can become free of all suffering and go back to Godhead. Say, good. So principally, this Brahma Jigyasa is successful by knowledge, renunciation, and devotional service to the Lord. So here's a formula. There's three things. Oh, who knows what Brahma Jigyasa means? It's from the first line of the Vedanta Sutra, which says, Atato Brahma Jigyasa. Atato means now, let us inquire into the nature of the absolute truth. So Brahma Jigyasa, Brahma means, it's referring to Krishna, the supreme absolute truth. Jigyasa means learning about the supreme absolute truth. So this Brahma Jigyasa is successful by three things. I'm going to ask you this question tomorrow if you come to the class, so pay attention to the answer. There are three things that will give you Brahma Jigyasa, meaning knowledge of your relationship, eternal relationship with Krishna. They are: one, is renunciation, two is knowledge, and three is devotional service. Or you can say first is knowledge, second is renunciation, and third is devotional service. These are the three things that lead to Brahma Jigyasa. Okay.
What's the third one again?
Devotional service. So first is knowledge, second is renunciation, and third is devotional service. Okay? And these three things lead to Brahma Jigyasa. B-R-A-H-M-A J-I-J-N-A-S-A. Jigyasa. All right? So the first thing is knowledge, and that is jnana. So write that down. First thing is knowledge, right? So that is jnana. And then that means knowledge of everything of Brahman, the supreme absolute truth. And then renunciation means tyaga, detachment of material affection. It doesn't say detachment from everything material. It says detachment from material affection. Now, this is a big subject, what that means. This is why Arjuna refused to follow Krishna's order, because it was material affection for his family members. And this is the strongest thing that keeps people in the material world. It's not their attachment to money or their attachment to sense gratification, although those are very important things. But they come along with attachment to material affection. Now, material affection is not just family. It's any material affection. Like someone can fall in love with money. Someone can fall in love with a house. Someone can fall in love with a dog. Someone can fall in love with a ring. Like just I had an auntie. We named her Diamond. I didn't name her, but her friends named her Diamond. Why? Because she had a big diamond ring, and every day she would say, whenever she'd come to our house, she'd go, "Hello, how are you? Okay?" She would go like that, just showing off her diamond ring to us, And I would get, I'd say, wonder why she's doing that. I didn't know. I was just a little kid. I didn't know why she did that. But she would always show off her diamond ring. She'd be like this, so you can see it, So her name was Diamond. That was not her real name, but everyone said, "Oh, Diamond is here," So she was in love with her diamond. So this is called material affection. Anything that you become affectionately connected to. Usually it's family, but it can be other things also. So, renunciation means detachment from material affection. Just like someone can be in love with a type of music, right? Someone can be in love with the stock market. Any material affection. So renunciation means giving up these material affections. And then devotional service is the revival by practice of the original position of a living entity. In other words, our original position was servant of Krishna. Now our false position is servant of mundane people, servant of the dog, servant of the cat. They have, if you go near Amazon in the South Lake Union area, on the main street there is a special store, it's a big store, for dogs. So people who come to work, they bring their dog, and they pay a lot of money for the dog to be kept. It's just like a daycare for children. Now they have the daycare for dogs.
There are a lot, Prabhuji.
There are?
Here as well. Here as well. Everywhere.
Everywhere there are like big dog daycare.
So
Really?
Yes,
Yeah.
people go to work and they keep their dogs in the daycare.
Wow, it's a good business. Maybe we should open one, We have a daycare. Maybe we should get a daycare for dogs.
It is looking very good.
Yeah. So, yes.
So is it bad to have like a dog or a cat?
Is it bad?
That's not really
Well, no, you can have a dog or a cat, but not in the house. You're not allowed to keep it in the house. You can keep it in the backyard if you have one. Yeah. You can keep all the pets in the backyard. I have 10 pets. Yeah. Sometimes people say, "What kind of pet you have pets?" I say, "Yes." They say, "What kind of pet?" I have 10 fruit flies.
Fruit flies.
Fruit flies. Yeah, they're in my kitchen all the time. I put an apple there, it starts rotting, all the fruit flies. These are my pets. So you can have, those are the type of pets you can have in your house. You can have fruit flies.
So you can't have a cat or a dog.
No.
What about a parrot?
You can buy a house with a yard, and you keep the dog in the yard.
Why can't it come inside?
What?
Why can't it come inside?
If I explain it to you, I'm going to scare the heck out of you. Okay, Radhika, look up on the phone. Look up on the internet. Dog saliva kills its master. Dogs are full of dangerous germs. Now, the dogs can tolerate those germs because they have an immune system for those specific type of germs, but human beings can't. See? So, if you like, people sleep with the dog in their bed.
This has been going on for a long, long time. It's nothing new.
About people sleeping with their dog?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, before you buy the dog, they put the injection there so they remove rabies.
That's rabies, but that's not all the insects and germs in, huh?
Bacteria linked to dogs that have happened.
Wait a minute, I can't hear you. Speak louder.
Look on your screen.
Oh.
Bacteria linked to dogs.
Bacteria linked to dog saliva kills woman, severely injures man. This is not a joke. This is serious. Okay. Bacteria found in the saliva of dogs and cats killed a Wisconsin woman and left a Wisconsin man in quadruple amputee after infection set in. That means they cut off his legs and his arms. They had to cut them off to keep him alive. Otherwise, he was going to die. 2 recent cases of a rare infection are raising awareness and anxiety about the risks of interacting with dogs and cats. Sharon Larson of South Milwaukee died on June 23rd at age 58 after her dog nipped her hand, meaning bit her hand. Starting that same month, Greg Mantofel, 48, of nearby West Bend, Wisconsin, lost both hands and both lower legs to amputation to save his life. Though he came into contact with a few dogs, he said, he was not bitten by any of them. In both patients' blood, doctors found the bacteria Capnocitophaga canemorsus. Capnocitophaga is a relatively common bacteria in dogs and cats. It is harmless to them, but it can sicken humans. People with low immune systems are most at risk, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. But even then, infection is unlikely. Well, that last line is a bunch of BS. We human beings do not have an immune system that can resist those type of bacteria. See? So that's why you should never keep an animal like a dog or a cat in the house. Unless you want to die young, that's different, you know. Some people want to die young, you know. So. But look what happened to the man. He didn't die. They cut off his hands and lower parts of his legs.
Prabhuji, they argue with the. Okay, that's one case. 99 cases. How to convince?
With knowledge, renunciation, and devotional service. That's how you convince. Knowledge, renunciation, and devotion. What do you renounce? You renounce mundane affection for the dog and cat.
Today was like the one day that I didn't have robotics, but whenever I go there, and like, then they have this cat, and then the owners always like playing with the cat, and the cat bit me like 3 times.
Bit you?
Yeah.
Bit you? Did you tell your mom and dad that the cat bit you?
Yeah.
Prabhuji, cat's name is Krishna.
What?
Yes, Prabhuji, they are Indian family. I asked yesterday why you named your cat Krishna. She said because we were saying whoever named
No, they think he's Nrsingadev.
so funny.
Sigourney died. Sadhu
Gopi Paranadana Madana Manohara Kaliya Damona Vidhana Amala Harinam Mamiya Bilasa Govinda Madhava Davanita Taskara Sundarananda Gopala Vaja Jana Palana Surakula Nasana Nanda Godana Rakuala Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara Sundarananda Gopala Jamuna Tata Chara Gopi Vasanahara Gopi Vasanahara Jamuna Tata Chara Gopi Vasanahara Rasarasika kripa moya. Sri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Nathabara. Sri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Nathabara. Bhakati Vinoda Shraya. Yasomati Nandana Brajavara Nagara Gokula Ranjana Kana. Amala Harinam Amiya Vilasa. Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara. Sri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Nathabara. Bhakati Vinoda Shraya. Bhakati Vinoda Shraya. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Okay, so was it's not robotics, it's catotics. So, were you here last Saturday?
Yes.
Did you do your homework?
Oh, I did it.
You did? Okay, let me hear your homework. The homework was explain 4 different religions using the 4 criterions for judging a religion, which are what are the 4 criterions for judging a religion? Is that one of them?
Cleanliness, truthfulness, mercy, and austerity.
Very good.
So, like,
Hare Krishna. Islam thing, okay.
Religion. So, for mercy, I'm analyzing them.
Yes.
So, apparently before, the Prophet Muhammad guy said, do not allow your stomach to become great.
That was not Muhammad. That was Hazrat Ali. Don't let your stomach become a graveyard for dead bodies.
But like now, and like you said yesterday in class, like the Muslims are like, oh my God, I killed 8,000 animals today.
Yeah.
So like that's not very merciful.
No, Allah is very pleased. We killed more animals this year than previous years after Ramadan.
Isn't that bad?
Yeah, of course it is.
So that's not like very good because there's like no mercy there.
Yes.
And then in Christianity, it says like some guy says Matthew, if you had known what that text means, I require mercy, not sacrifice, you would have commended the innocent.
You would have what?
Commended.
Commented or commended?
Commended.
Commended the innocent?
What does it mean by I require mercy, not sacrifice?
Well, it means that mercy is superior to sacrifice.
But like you said in yesterday's class, like most Christians eat meat.
Yes.
And then,
Prabhupada said that also.
and then on like some like blog, I forgot the name, blog or something, they like don't eat red meat every Friday.
Oh, yeah.
Don't eat red meat. Don't eat red meat.
Every Friday or something.
Yeah, that's the Catholics. They don't eat red meat on Fridays. They only eat fish.
And so that's also not very merciful. And then
Commend means praise. Commend means to praise.
All the people at my school were like, oh, you're doing vegetarian for your life. I can't even do it for an hour.
Because they're demons, that's why. All right, good. You did Islam, now you did Christianity next.
And then in Buddhism, it says all meats eaten by living beings are out of their own relatives.
Are their own relatives. Is that what it says?
I think there's a typo
Out
here.
of their own relatives.
Relatives.
What?
I think there's a typo.
Let me see it.
Relatives are
There's a lot of typos.
You did that? You made the typos?
No, my mom like wrote it for me.
Okay. All meats eaten by living beings are out of their own relatives. Okay, that basically it means that if you're eating meat, you're actually eating your own relatives who have taken birth as animals. Lankavatara Sutra. Okay. Okay. So Buddhism does not encourage eating meat, but yet there are many Buddhists that do eat meat. Surprise.
In Buddhism, it says it is forbidden according to the law of the Torah.
No, that's Judaism,
Yeah.
not Buddhism. Judaism.
That's what I said.
Okay.
To inflict pain upon any living creature. On the contrary, it is our duty to relieve the pain of any creature, even if it is ownerless or belongs to a non-Jew.
So in other words, it doesn't matter if an animal belongs to a non-Jew, you shouldn't cause any pain to it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So now why do Jews eat meat then?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because they claim that they can kill the animal painlessly, which is not true. Painlessly, without causing pain. Because in the Torah it says you shouldn't cause pain to any animal, right? Is that what it says? Right. So,
They're just like twisting it so they can.
So how do you kill an animal?
well, what they'll do is they'll cut the jugular vein of the animal and it bleeds to death and dies very quickly.
How is that not pain?
Well, of course, it causes a lot of pain to the animal, but, you know, it's less pain than like banging it over the head till it dies, you know. Right? So, but it does cause pain to the animal. It does cause distress to the animal. So you see, there's a lot of hypocrisy in every one of these religions when it comes to meat eating. Go ahead. Many more?
It's not on here, but like in Hinduism, like you're not supposed to eat meat. First it says in the Bhagavatham, but still a lot of people eat meat.
Yeah.
Everyone, all my cousins eat meat.
All your cousins?
Yeah.
In India or here?
Both.
Both? All your cousins?
Yeah.
Wow. You have a lot of preaching to do, Prabhu. Was the cousins on your dad's side or your mom's side? Both. Whoa. How did that happen? Yeah. Thanks to modern education. So did they make fun of you when they... No?
I threw my cousin's eggs out the window.
That's good. One of these days you have to throw your cousins out the window too. Hare Krishna, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. So your homework for tomorrow. Homework for tomorrow is do research on Namgar.
Yeah.
Okay?
Hopefully I'll be good.
Namgar. N-A-M-G-H-A-R. Better, at least there's something.